is my favorite thing to crochet because you can make them as big as you want them. Like, seriously, you can make a king-size blanket or bigger if you wanted to. Because once you really get the hang of crocheting a granny square, it just, like, you can do it all day as long as you have the yarn. Because it's just very, very repetitive, and you can just keep going at it as long as you want. It's, and again, I have a blanket problem, so obviously I'm going to make blankets with it. But yeah, you just, once you get going, it's fun. Alright, to start it, like you do with any crochet or knit project, do a slip knot. That's just how you start things. Put it on. And to start it, it is a little bit challenging, but once you get it, it'll get easy. I do 5. It usually says to do 6. Sometimes I do 4 or 5. It really depends, because 6 tends to make the center of it too big of a hole, so I don't like doing 6. So I either do 4 or 5, just because it's like, it makes it a little bit tighter and match the rest of it. So just like crochet over 4 or 5 or 6. If you want to do 6, that's fine if you're a tight crocheter. I am loose at it. But to start it, you go through the first loop that's by the end of the yarn. Like, it's to make a circle. You just go through that, and then just take the yarn over and take this loop over the hook too, because that's how you just do it. You're not trying to make an actual like stitch out of it. You're just making a circle. That's the first step to it. Now I like to take, for this one, I like to take the tail of it and blend it in so I don't have to do it later. So I'm holding both of them together, and I just make 1 loop and then 2. And again, it says to do 3 usually, from what I've read, but I do 2 because, again, I'm a very loose crocheter. And then you wrap your yarn around the hook and put it through the center of your circle. Loop it around your hook again and pull it through. So this first one is just gonna, like, it has 2 yarn loops around it or whatever, but ignore that. So you just have 3 stitches or 3 loops right now. So you wrap it around and pull it through 2, and then wrap it around and pull it through the 2 again, and that's your first stitch. And the same thing, except you're ignoring that, so that's just gonna hang there. So you wrap it around, put it through the center of the circle, wrap it around, pull it through the center, wrap it, pull it through 2, wrap it, pull it through 2. And that is your first, like, part of it. So you only do 2 on that because you have 2 stitches on that, so you only need to do it twice. I think they're called double crochets, but I don't know, because I don't know the terms for crocheting. But now for the next step, you do 3, you wrap it around, pull it through, wrap it around, pull it through, wrap it, pull it through. And then that's going to be a corner. So now you wrap it, put it through the center, wrap it, pull it, and then just like you did the other 2 stitches, you wrap it and then pull it through 2 stitches twice. And you do that 2 more times, and then you'll have the next section. So you just, again, same thing, twice and twice, wrap it, center, wrap it, twice, and twice. And then that's the second part. So now you do the same thing as you did for this corner. Do 3, just loose, and then wrap it, put it through, wrap, and then pull it through 2 stitches twice. And seriously, that's all you're gonna do for the rest of the thing. So let me do these 2, and then I'll show you how to connect the end. Alright, once you get those two sides done, you'll have 4 of the same, like, shape. So you'll want to do the 3 again on just the air, basically. And you want to put it through the first, like, you can see how there's, like, the 3 spots. You put it through the first one, and because I'm doing the end, I'm going to wrap that around with it and pull that through, and the one that was on the hook before, that gets pulled over too. Just because I don't really like the tail on crochet granny squares, so it all gets pulled through this part. All pulled through. Go over. Thank you. You just pull it all over again and again until you reach the first corner, and now you have a square. It'll turn into a square after a bit. The corners will corner. But that's your first piece of it. Like, that's all. You're at the first end, and just wrap it and pull it through 3 more. Or this one has 2 because, again, I don't like the whole... It looks like I have extra, and you can tell where the round starts. So I just do 2 to start, and then 2 again. Just 2 of these. I think they're called double crochets. And then that's the first piece of the next round. So 2 of the, like, I don't know what it's called, the 2 loops into the air. And then 2, I'm pretty sure they're called double crochets, so that's what I'm going to call them. And then that's your first start of the next round. And then just 3 again for the corner, like you did the whole rest of the way on the other side. And then 3 into the other side of the corner. And after that, you're going to just crochet 1 of the floaty ones. The spacers, I call them, kind of, because it just adds you space. So after you have that, that's your first corner on the second round. You crochet 1 just of those, just the up and over the hook thing, and now you wrap it and then stick it through the corner again and do the same 3 stitches that you did before all the way around. You do the same 3, I think they're called double crochets, and then 3 into the air things all the way around. So it's just a lot of 3s. You just do 3 of each thing over and over again, and it's very, very relaxing because it's just 3 over and over again. So let me do this round. Be right back. Okay, you finished that. You have to do the 1 more floaty one. Okay, you just do the 1 more floaty, whatever you call it. And I'm going to wrap that through just so it kind of matches better. But after you do that, you take it and put it through this, if you can see. And you just kind of wrap it and pull it through like once. You don't wrap it twice, you just pull it through the once. I'm going to cut this in a minute because it serves no more purpose. And do it again here into the second one, and then 1 more time into the big corner. And then that's your second row. I'm going to do a couple more just because, but technically this could be as big as you want it. You could end it here. But I'm going to do a couple more just to make it a little bit more. Yeah, you basically just do the same thing. You do the 2 to start, the 2 up these thingies, and then 2 double crochets, and then 3, and then 3, and then 1 space, and then 3, and then 1 space. But I'll show you how this one starts. Again, just so you can get the idea of it, because it takes a lot to get used to doing this, but I've made a few of these crocheted granny square blankets because I enjoyed it so much, so it becomes something you don't even have to think about after a while. You just kind of do it. So I hope it's explaining well, because yeah, But see, I just did the one crochet over for the space. So you do that into this opening now. So you don't go directly to the corner, you go to the second or first opening that you have, and then you do 3 into that, and then you do 1 again, and then you go into the corner. So yeah, you just kind of do that. That's how it gets bigger. Each of those one little spaces that you do equals another 3 double crochets you have to add to each side. Like in each big opening is where you do them, and that's what it equals. So again, I hope it makes sense. I really don't know how to explain this properly. Okay, see, that's another round. I just have to do the one floaty crochet thingy, and then again, this is the most challenging part for me to learn because I couldn't figure out where to put it. But again, you put it through the little, just like you're doing a normal crochet project, but they're slip stitches or whatever they're called. I think they're slip stitches. Until you get to the corner, and then you go through, and then you do 2 more, and then that's it. I'm gonna go around one more time, and then I'm gonna finish it. I could, because with this I can continue it until my yarn's done. That's how kind of addicting it is. So one more round, and then I'll be back to finish it. Alright, so that was, what is it, 1, 2, 3, 4 rounds. And I recommend using a much smaller yarn than this. It'll come, I mean, this is nice. It's just, the smaller ones are a lot softer and cuddly. But yeah, 1 more of those, and then for the ending, I don't go to the corner. I just do the 2, so it's not all the way at the end, so it's not quite as noticeable. And then just pull it. And I don't have to go get my scissors this time. I actually have them with me. Except they're not cutting. Again. Yeah, you just pull it through and knot it like you do when you finish any yarn project. Just tie it tight. And then weave it in. I forgot to cut the little one. I forgot to cut the little guy off from the center. Yeah, I'm just gonna weave this guy in. It's just like every other kind of weaving in thing, but crochet is very forgiving with how you weave it in. You just, because it's already kind of completely twisted, so you just kind of wrap it around with the twists, and it blends right in, which is very nice, because I'm not good at weaving things in and not making it noticeable. I try, but I'm too obvious with where it's been woven, usually. Especially with knit projects. Like, you can really tell until it gets worn in where my ending string is. Like, for the people who can blend it in and make it look invisible, I'm very impressed, because I don't know how to do that. Wish I did, but I don't think I'll ever know how to. It's just kind of how I am with it. But yeah, you just, seriously, with this one, you just go back and forth wherever you want. As long as the yarn's the same color, obviously, because you can change the color on it, and then it's a little more noticeable. But yeah, that's it, and then just cut that off, and then that's woven in. And that's that for a granny square. It's very simple. Once you get used to doing it, yeah, it's my favorite thing to make, because they're very soft and very, they're just very nice. They're fun to make. They're very relaxing to make. You can do it whenever you want, because you don't really have to worry about the hook coming out. It's just easy and relaxing. When I did the knitting video a couple weeks ago, when I filmed that one, look, my seat is in the wrong spot. I'm using yoga blocks for my seat. But when I was doing the knitting video, I kept saying crochet hook instead of knitting needle. This is what I was working on. This is just one huge granny square. But it's made with very thin yarn and a very, not very, very small, but it's made with the Lion Brand bonbons. Well, it's a granny square rectangle, not a square, I guess. But I don't know how to explain getting the rectangle, but I can attempt it maybe eventually. But this is made with just the Lion Brand bonbons and some other rainbow yarn. I don't know what weight the bonbons is what I'm getting at. It's just very thin yarn. And then I just crocheted it into one giant granny square rectangle. So that's what I was working on when I kept saying crochet instead of knitting needle. I kept getting confused. But I wanted to show you how it can look if you just keep going and make it into a giant blanket. Because that one's obviously a baby blanket size. But if you keep going, you can keep going bigger than that one, and you can get it to be a king-size blanket if you wanted to, and they're very, very soft, because the holes in them let air through, but they're also warm, and I don't understand how any of that works. But yeah, hopefully that this one that I just did will show you how to get started, and it helps you get started with these, because seriously, I am addicted to making these things, and it's very, very relaxing. And hopefully you'll enjoy it too once you get the hang of it. But thanks for watching, and hope this helps.